have a birthmark on my face, and I was called ugly since I was a kid. But Peter, who was always so full of himself, never minded it. He'd even stand by me, defending me loudly when others mocked or bullied me. Gloria is mine. Whoever dares to say a word against her, I'll end them. Later, I got his love letter and confession. Peter's face looked like he just swallowed a fly, though. He grimly snatched the letter from my hand. Who allowed you to touch this? Do you really not know how repulsive your face is? What did you say? In the center of the crowd, Peter looked at me in disbelief from his seat on the couch. Thinking he didn't hear right, I shyly repeated it. My heart, filled with joy and excitement, was almost bursting. I've liked you for years and would love to be your girlfriend. On the yacht, the loud and bustling crowd suddenly went silent. Suddenly, someone let out a piercing laugh. Gloria, have you ever looked in a mirror? You're actually confessing to Peter. That's like a toad wanting to eat swan meat. Shut up. Peter's face darkened as he blatantly sized me up, finally focusing on my face. That dress, the one I gave you when you graduated high school. First time wearing it. Did your hair and put on makeup too? Nervously, I twisted my fingers. Did you dress up like this especially for me? I nodded. It looks good, but don't do it again. My face turned pale, snapping my head up to look at him. In that instant, unease, bitterness, and embarrassment washed over me. Seeing I was about to cry, Peter's normally leisurely face held a hint of mocking laughter. Oh, you actually like me, huh? What did he mean by actually? Wasn't it him who gave me the love letter, which made me bold enough to reveal my feelings buried for 3 years? I pulled out the love letter, handing it to him. Before I could speak, Peter's face suddenly clouded over. Abruptly standing up, he snatched it away with a cold tone. Who allowed you to touch this? That tone, as if I was something utterly disgusting, touching a cherished jewel of his. And it was then that I understood. So, this love letter wasn't even from you to me. The joy when I received the letter turned into disappointment and awkwardness now. No wonder she didn't come. Peter's expression was grim as he kicked the table in front of him, shattering glasses all over. Shards of glass hit the back of my hand, stinging sharply. Gloria, do you really not know how repulsive your face is? Peter laughed coldly, each word piercing my heart like a knife. Do you think some foundation can hide the ugly birthmark on your face? Or that staying at my place for 3 years turns you from a toad into a swan? Gloria, did you really think this party Peter threw was just for you? When hit with the truth, my face lost all color, feeling naked and embarrassed. I knew Peter rented a yacht for a party over the long weekend. After getting his love letter, I especially picked out the dress he gave me, curled my hair, and did my makeup. I couldn't help but hope, even if I was greedy. Was there any chance I was on his guest list? Was there any chance it was for me? Was there any chance he wanted to surprise me? Truth proved I was dreaming. Who are we kidding? Who would choose an ugly girl over Yolanda, the school beauty, if they weren't blind? Peter, the school beauty is here. I followed the crowd's gaze. It was Yolanda, our school's beauty queen. She was beautiful, radiant, and confident, while I was ugly, insecure, and shy. She blinked. An intriguing look on her face lingered a moment on me, then shifted to Peter. Sorry, am I interrupting something? Peter's severe face softened immensely upon seeing her. Even his tone lightened unconsciously. No, today is all about you. But he glanced down at the letter he took from me, slightly regretful, and smiled. It's gotten dirty. It's okay. Some things can be said in person, but don't you need to go to the restroom? Yolanda motioned to my face. I knew, the makeup had smeared, revealing the birthmark. I didn't need a mirror to know how awful I looked. The love letter was meant for me. Yolanda was taken aback. Peter, I didn't mean to take your love letter. It was her who handed it to me, causing the misunderstanding. Peter got the hint. He looked at Yolanda without any expression, his voice cold as ice. Did you give it to her? Yeah, Yolanda admitted freely with a tilt of her head. Peter, everyone in school knows you two are close. Since you protect her so much, I needed to ensure your feelings. Peter indeed protected me. Because of my ugly birthmark, I was often laughed at. When I first transferred, he stood up for me when I was mocked and bullied. I will never forget the defiant, protective look of that boy. Gloria is mine. Anyone who dares says a word about her, I'll end them. From then on, everyone knew Gloria belonged to Peter. For 3 years of high school, no one dared mock me again. I thought he simply didn't like me. His care for me couldn't be that bad. I didn't take your love letter to her on purpose. She was intentional. Yet, Peter seemed to not hear my words. His gaze stayed firmly on Yolanda. A well-behaved dog that has been bullied always needs its owner to protect it. My heart sank to the ocean's abyss, cold and numb. The familiar boy I knew seemed a stranger now. So, dear princess, now are my feelings confirmed. After saying that, a doting smile appeared on Peter's lips. Reaching out, pulling Yolanda into his arms, in front of everyone, he kissed her. Cheers erupted from the crowd. Peter held Yolanda while cutting the cake. But for me, stranded awkwardly in the corner, although on the same yacht, I felt like I was in a different world. Oh my God, how can Gloria still stand to be here? If it were me, I'd have jumped overboard already. So embarrassing. Did you see the birthmark on her face? Scary. No wonder Peter isn't interested. If it were me, I'd find it disgusting too. I looked at the pitch-black sea. I wanted to leave too, but the yacht wasn't close to the shore. I couldn't leave at all. Swim back. Ironically, Peter taught me how to swim, and now I'm using it to escape from him. I'm standing on the deck, trying to estimate the distance. It's not too far, and the weather's nice. No wind or waves. I could swim back in about half an hour. Just as I'm about to jump, someone pulls me back. Is it worth it? Vincent, Peter's roommate and brother. If Peter's the spoiled brat, this guy is the real deal, the ancestor. They were both legends at the same high school, Peter and Vincent, but they are as different as night and day. Peter is proud and flashy. Vincent is aloof and distant. Vincent's dark eyes concealed a tidal wave of anger. He pulled me off the deck with force, jumping into the sea for a guy. Gloria, I'm surprised at you. I got to know Vincent since I was living at the villas, but he never liked me, always giving me the cold shoulder. Now, I'm guessing he thinks even less of me. I wasn't. I just wanted to swim back, and then cramp up and wait for someone to come save you and score a touch at the same time. When I first learned to swim, I was all excited. Once, I swam too hard, cramped up, and Vincent happened to pass by and saved me. I was so scared. I clung to him and wouldn't let go. That was an accident. I didn't mean to touch you. Vincent clearly didn't buy it. He glanced toward the crowd, took me into the cabin, and opened a guest room door. You'll stay here tonight. There was a coat of his draped over a chair. Realizing it was his room, I asked, what about you? Vincent gave me a sidelong glance, didn't reply, didn't come in either, just stood at the door texting like he was replying to someone. Why don't you come in too? His hands paused, giving me a complex look. What? Not enough freebies yet. Vincent did come in eventually. I dragged him in. I heard Peter and Yolanda. Peter's room was right next door. They seemed in no rush to go in, kissing loudly at the door. Common sense told me not to feel bad, but hearing it still made my heart ache. I was about to close the door when Yolanda, out of breath, spoke up. Did you ever kiss Gloria? I froze. The door creaked open. Peter chuckled. I wouldn't be that desperate, would I? Gloria's face would give you nightmares even with the lights off. True, but does Gloria even shower at your place? She smells awful. Smells like the countryside, a bit strong. With a slam, the door closed behind me, sealing the voices outside. I turned, and Vincent was looking down at me. My eyes were wet, fighting back tears, feeling both hurt and embarrassed. I never knew Peter thought so little of me behind my back. What about Vincent? I bit my lip, barely getting out the words. Sorry, am I dirtying your place? I'm really clean. I don't smell. Just because I'm from the countryside, they assume I have an unwashed odor. Vincent stared silently, eyes filled with emotions I couldn't understand. I do shower. Before I could finish, he suddenly pulled me into his arms. I was stunned. Gloria, beauty isn't skin deep, it's in the heart. Vincent let go, his gaze intense. I've hugged you before. You don't smell. You're fragrant, like gardenias after rain. He wasn't lying. My body wash indeed had that scent. I suddenly felt like crying. Before tears could fall, there came a creaking from next door, along with some unmistakable noises that make your face burn. Too clear, like listening to a radio broadcast. I was mortified, not knowing what to do. Leaving seemed obvious, staying was awkward, especially with Vincent there. I desperately found a topic. This ship's a bit wobbly, huh? Let's go for a walk. I escaped outside, and saw a familiar necklace in the trash between the two rooms. The one Grandma left me before she passed, said it brought safety. Peter was sick once, had a high fever that wouldn't break, and I gave it to him. Not of much value, but it held meaning. If he didn't want it, he could have just returned it. Why throw it away? All my suppressed feelings burst at that moment, uncontrollable. I picked it up, turned, and blocked Vincent just as he came out. Wanna test it? Test what? The noises from next door echoed. I've always been meek and timid, but right then, I was filled with reckless courage, even spitefully wondering if Vincent's words earlier were just to comfort me. I needed to know if he was like Peter, disgusted with me. I tiptoed, daringly wrapping my arms around his neck. See who quits first. Vincent almost furiously pulled my hands off, pinning me to the wall. His eyes burned with anger. If you're out of your mind, go get some fresh air. So, he's disgusted too. Maybe I was too heartbroken. Or maybe I desperately needed a conclusion to piece back my shattered pride. I stubbornly refused to move. Really, you too, Gloria? I sighed. Fine, I'll find someone else then. No need to be so harsh. Vincent's hold was firm, almost tossing me onto the bed. Then he kissed me fiercely, punishingly. After what felt like ages, he let go. His eyes burned with desire, red around the edges, an Adam's apple moving sharply. Regret before I kill you, you still have time. I clung to his neck, murmuring, then go ahead. Vincent's eyes darkened to shadowy depths, looking at me with eyes filled with fire. His voice was low and rough, with a fierce edge. You asked for it. His body was warm, lips even warmer, gently kissing my lips, my neck, stopping on the birthmark on my face. I instinctively tried to push him away. It's ugly, but he pinned my wrists above my head. No, it's cute. He kissed me gently, almost reverently, and I froze up. Something slowly seeped into my heart. Don't try to comfort me. I understand. Vincent looked at me silently. Even though they say you can't trust what a guy says in bed, Gloria, I've never been bothered by the birthmark on your face. It doesn't matter if it's there or not. It won't change how I feel about you. So don't worry about hiding it. Don't feel self-conscious. Be yourself. Only when you're strong inside can you stand up to the world. Gloria, be the bravest, strongest girl you can be. I never knew someone as distant and indifferent as him would say something like this to me. I felt like crying. Vincent told me not to cry, to save my energy. He kissed me over and over, and everywhere he touched was like wildfire. Sweat trickled down my skin. I started to feel breathless, gently pushing him away. It's hot, bear with it, Vincent said, kissing away the heat. The wind picked up, stirring the waves by the shore. At first, it was subtle and gentle. Suddenly, it was as if something uncontrollable surged from the depths of the sea. The wild waves crashed against the rocks, shattering into white foam. The waves roared, threatening to destroy everything. The boat shook, the lamps swayed. After what felt like ages, the storm calmed. The rocks washed clean, imbued with the scent of the sea, and revealed a new beauty. My throat felt dry as anything. I pointed towards the water on the table, breathless. Vincent understood, grabbed his pants off the floor that had been on my dress, quickly pulled them on, and got me a glass of water. After drinking, I couldn't help but glance at the clock. Shocked, I couldn't help but ask him, so, you really never had another girlfriend? Vincent took the water from my hand and drank the rest without any concern. What do you think? How about we compare? I made a sound, remembering something I said earlier. Back then, emotions got the best of me, and I wasn't thinking straight. Looking back now, I wished I could dig a hole and bury myself in it. Vincent took another sip, his Adam's apple moving as he pointed out, I won. I'm sleeping at Vincent's tonight. Everything had happened, leaving would seem insincere. When he came out of the shower, I was nodding off under the covers. Need me to carry you in for a bath? No. I sprang into the bathroom. I dawdled for half an hour. When I got out, Vincent had turned off the main lights, leaving just a dim nightlight on the bedside table. He was leaning against the headboard, playing on his phone. When he's not talking, he has an aloof expression, giving off a sense of distance. But that face was stunning. I think this was the first time I really looked at him. I remembered staring at my own birthmark in the bathroom mirror. It's ugly. I thought of what Peter had said. My face would give people nightmares in the dark. I knew Vincent long enough to see the parade of girls after him. Every type, all drop-dead gorgeous. Not sleepy anymore. I blushed. My earlier resolve to just fall asleep on the same bed completely faltered. I lacked the confidence to go closer. I'm okay, Gloria. Vincent's voice was cold, regretting it. I looked up sharply. I'd seen many sides of Vincent, but never this one. He looked almost betrayed. The air felt thick and stifling. No. I held his gaze, unsure. Why me? How did you know I was going back home? I ran into your roommate. I hesitantly asked. So you came to take me home on purpose? As we stopped at a red light, he nodded. Yeah. I don't usually just walk away like that. Do you? No. I hesitated, but my hometown's pretty far. National Day traffic can be crazy. You didn't have to go through the trouble. Why shouldn't I take my girlfriend home? I turned to him in surprise. Girlfriend? How did that happen? We've slept together. We're not just friends. I guess we're not. But isn't that a bit rash? Or, Vincent drawled, you think you can use me then walk away? Who in their right mind would do that to someone like him? I shook my head like a rattledrum. No, I didn't. Don't say that. Vincent glanced at me and chuckled. There we go then. You don't want to? No. Then it's settled. Vincent looked serious. I'm not Peter. The drive home took 5 hours. After my grandma passed, all that was left was the empty house. No other relatives. The place had gathered dust after being empty for so long. Vincent and I cleaned every corner and made the bed. The sheets and covers were old-fashioned. I knew he was used to a good life, and I feared he'd be put off. I felt a little uneasy. The town's not far. We can hit the store and grab some new bedding. Vincent pinched my earlobe. Gloria, I'm not that delicate. He wasn't lying. From the moment we got here, he did more work than me. As he looked at the accolades my grandma had plastered on the wall, first place, outstanding student, model student, excellent class officer, he turned to me, eyes clear, his voice teasing. Gloria, you were an overachiever, huh? I blushed. I guess I was okay. If that's just okay, what does that make me? Without a single award. I looked at him, incredulous. You're kidding, right? We went to the same high school. I knew he wasn't the model student type. Back then, I had my mind on school and Peter, not paying much attention to others. Vincent stood out, though. Even if I hadn't wanted to know, his information was just everywhere. He barely studied and sometimes didn't even show up at school. He was that rebellious. In senior year, your grades shot up. Everyone thought you had a girlfriend at University A. That's why you worked so hard. Vincent reminisced, then smirked at himself. She wasn't my girlfriend. Was it someone you liked? I found myself dreading his answer, a strange feeling welling up inside. Vincent looked at me for a moment, then replied, yeah, someone I liked. Vincent and I went to the town for dinner. Neither of us said a word the whole way there. It was weird. My mind kept replaying what Vincent said earlier. Someone you still like. Didn't he go after them? Does he still like them now? How much? The more I thought about it, the more restless I got. Suddenly, my phone rang and interrupted my thoughts. I didn't set up a room for you last night. Where'd you sleep? Why didn't you call me? Gloria, do you have any idea how long I've been looking for you? Do you know what I thought? He paused. Being this stubborn has its limits. His voice was angry, questioning. It was Peter. I frowned. Before I could say anything, he added, sounding a lot calmer. I lost the necklace you gave me by accident. I'll buy a new one later. No need. Something I cherished seemed barely worth mentioning to him. Why am I only seeing this now? Avoiding me all night wasn't enough. Are you really that upset? Gloria, I didn't expect you'd have those thoughts about me. I've always seen you as a sister. Sorry if I was harsh yesterday. If you're serious about dating, I can set you up. My hand shook holding the phone. If Peter were in front of me now, I'd really want to ask him, do you think I'm some kind of pushover? Just toss me a boyfriend and I'd be happy. I felt a lump in my throat. I don't need it. I have a boyfriend. Peter reacted like he heard a joke, not believing me. Met him last night, did you? And what if I did? Vincent got with someone last night too. Don't tell me it's him. I glanced at Vincent. Yeah, Gloria. Peter sneered. If you're gonna lie, at least make it believable. Vincent wouldn't go for you. And did you know he had a girl over last night? I hung up and blocked Peter. Before going inside, I hesitated and tugged on Vincent's sleeve. Do you mind me saying you're my boyfriend, just now? Vincent looked down at my hand and took it. If you don't mind me making it real. I shook my head. He smirked, pulled out his phone, and snapped a picture of our hands laced together. I watched him post it on Twitter with one word, mine. My heart raced like something hit it hard. Even the annoyance from Peter faded away. I happily introduced him. This chicken hot pot's been here since junior high. It's really good. Used to come often. I shook my head. My parents died early. Grandma raised me. She grew vegetables, raised chickens, sold anything she could to save for me. We didn't have much, but if I won an award, she'd bring me here. I got lost in thought. Every time, she'd give me the meat, saying her teeth were bad. But I knew she just wanted me to have more. Then, Grandma passed. I got sponsored by the family, and lived with them. I've tried many places since, but nothing beats Grandma's spot. The food came. Vincent rinsed chopsticks and handed them over, then put a piece of chicken in my bowl. Whenever you want this, I'll take you. Before break ended, we went back to campus. My roommate told me Peter had been trying to find me and showed me a video. In it, Peter and Yolanda were having a huge fight. Didn't you call her ugly? And now you'll jump into the ocean for her. She's not on the yacht, don't you get it? She's hiding on purpose to make you worry. Peter, whose boyfriend are you, anyway? Even if Gloria did something crazy, that's her choice. With a bang, the table flipped. Shut up. Peter lost it. Ignoring everyone, he dove into the sea. In the video, Peter kept searching, until a friend ran up with a phone. Gloria's fine. She got out of Vincent's car today. Finally, Peter climbed out. In all the time I've known him, I've never seen him so beaten down. I thought I'd feel moved, but watching, I felt nothing. Too little, too late. Who cares? Gloria, you and Peter okay? Never was anything, won't be in the future either. Judy, this birthmark on my face, is it ugly? Judy looked carefully, kinda sudden at first, but not ugly. Is someone bothering you? No, you're just too concerned. Those who care don't mind, plus, there's makeup. If it really bothers you, save after you graduate and fix it. Honestly, I envy your grades more. How can there be such a gap in our class? Gloria, help me out, won't you? Things clicked. I used to be so insecure, afraid even on the street, worried about people staring. Vincent was right. Beauty or ugliness, it's in the mind, not the looks. Only by being strong inside can I fend off the world. If I break first, anyone can tear me apart. Suddenly, I wanted to see him. I opened his Twitter, saved our picture with intertwined fingers, posted the same word, mine. Minutes later, Vincent called, a little out of breath, sounding really happy. In your dorm. Mind bringing your boyfriend some water at the court? Sure. I quickly got ready. Wait for me. At the court, Vincent was playing basketball. I found a spot to wait for him. Isn't that Gloria? Peter, she's here with water. Why aren't you going over? Peter's charm, right? After that yacht mess, she's still here. I saw Peter too, playing against Vincent. Time for a break. Peter came over, wiping his sweat, looking a bit smug, like he deserved it. I broke up with Yolanda. It was pretty pointless. She was too dramatic, and you were obedient and sweet. So what? Am I just his obedient pet? You brought me water, aren't you mad? Alright, I'll drink up, no more fuss. He reached out to take the water from my hand. I stepped back, holding back my discomfort. Do I suddenly not smell? Aren't you afraid my water would get that smell? Peter's expression stiffened, looking a bit upset. He said firmly, who else would you give it to? Give it to me. Mine. Vincent came over from behind him and took the water from my hand. He twisted it open and downed the big bottle. He drank casually, water trailing down his Adam's apple, seductive and enticing. After finishing, he naturally placed his hand on my shoulder. Hungry? Not really. Alright. I'll wrap up quickly. In about 15 minutes. Check your phone for what you want to eat. We'll go together after the game. Hey, Vincent, what's going on with you and Gloria? Don't tell me that girl you announced on Twitter is really her. Isn't Gloria Peter's girlfriend? How come she's with Vincent? Nope. Some not so pretty girls still got game. Snagged the two hunks of our school. There was a loud thud as the ball hit hard. Vincent's expression turned really somber. Watch your mouth. Sorry. Who are you apologizing to? The guy who called me ugly awkwardly looked over. Sorry. No problem. I said coldly. My birthmark might be unappealing, but you're quick to judge. Looks doesn't make you look good either. Next time, it won't be just a ball coming at you. Vincent warned, then turned, looking at me much more gently. Let's go. I'll take you for a meal. I shook my head. Before, I would have bolted in such a situation, but now, I feel it's no big deal. It's fine. I haven't properly watched you play. I wanna see. Wait. Peter, who hadn't spoken, was staring intently at us. So, the picture you posted on Twitter is real. You two really got together behind my back. What does he mean behind his back? I can't understand his logic. Peter, you and I have nothing going on. Peter threw a punch, catching Vincent off guard and letting one land. But within a split second, Vincent retaliated. Peter stumbled back a few steps, a bruise forming on his lip. He sneered, eyes tinged with madness. Vincent, I treated you like a brother, and you steal my girl. If you're crazy, get help. When was Gloria ever yours? Since freshman year she is. Really? Vincent scoffed. Didn't you reject Gloria's confession on the yacht? Didn't you throw Yolanda a birthday party, and confess to her instead? Peter had no words. Peter, you can't have it all. Who Gloria is with, what boyfriend she has, is none of your business, isn't it? Peter glanced at me, craziness in his eyes. Vincent, do you know how long Gloria has had a crush on me? She's liked me since freshman year. Can you beat that? I turned pale. So, he knew. He knew I had a crush on him all this time. And yet, he enjoyed and even hurt me without care. I stepped between them. I did like you before, but not anymore. Peter, you and I were never together. So it's my freedom to be with who I want. None of your business. None of my business. Gloria, just because you've been living at my house these years, eating our food, spending our money, that does make it my business. After my grandma passed, I'm really grateful for your family supporting me, allowing me to live with you, providing me with a good environment, a good school, letting me finish high school stress-free, and get into a good college. Without them, I might not be who I am today. But now, to see such kindness tainted this way, I realized I overestimated Peter. I was indeed helped by your family. I've never forgotten, and am very thankful. But Peter, the one who funded my education was George. Nothing to do with you, you don't qualify. And, I moved closer, lowering my voice slightly. The night you successfully confessed to Yolanda, I was right next door. Peter suddenly looked up, his face turning ghostly pale. As we left campus, I called out to Vincent. Sorry, if I knew Peter would cause a scene, I wouldn't have come. We had to announce it sooner or later, right? Vincent cupped my face and paused when he saw my reddened eyes. My bad, didn't manage it well, you got upset. I shook my head. I didn't feel upset. Just thought they'd laugh behind our backs. Laugh about what? Yeah, what's there to laugh about? I never even dated Peter. I'm honest and open. At most they'd say, how did someone like Vincent pick such an ugly girl? Thinking about it, the one who should feel embarrassed is Peter. That thought lightened my mood a lot. As long as you don't care, I don't care. Though saying that sounded wrong, I added, too late to care now, it's official. Vincent lowered his gaze at me, his dark eyes flickering with desire. Let's make it official again. With that, he bent down to kiss me. With people coming and going at the school gate, I shyly pushed him away. I'm hungry. Vincent pulled me into his embrace. I'll let you off for now. After the scene, I didn't see Peter for a long time. I was busy studying, working part-time, and dating Vincent. For quite some time, I hardly thought of him, until I got a reminder on my phone. George's birthday is next week. I bought a gift ahead of time, and when the day came, I brought it home. The gift wasn't expensive, just something I saved up for from work. It was a massager, not big, that George could use at the office since he had trouble with his legs. Gloria is thoughtful, much better than that boy. George doesn't like throwing big parties, so for his birthday, it was just a family dinner. At the table, I saw Peter. He looked much thinner. I acted like I didn't see him and kept chatting with George. He's such a nice elder, always asking if I'm settling into school okay, if I have enough money, and if I'm getting along with friends. I answered each question. Oh, Gloria, since you're rarely home, why don't you stay over tonight? I told Vincent earlier, and he said he'd pick me up. Dad, Peter suddenly cut in. He shot me a look full of possessiveness. I want to get engaged. Before George could respond, he blurted out again. You always liked Gloria, saying she'd be a great daughter-in-law, didn't you? We're both in college. Let's get engaged now and marry after graduation. I jumped up in shock, knocking over my glass. I had no clue what Peter was thinking. George, he's talking nonsense. I'm not joking. Peter stared at me seriously. Gloria, I mean it. Stop it. You're too old for this foolishness. You're scaring Gloria. Go upstairs. Peter rarely listens, but this time he got up and went upstairs. Gloria, don't listen to him. I don't meddle in my children's affairs, and you shouldn't feel pressured, just because I've supported you over the years. Thank you, George, but I won't stay tonight. I'll visit you another day. I texted Vincent, asking him to come get me earlier. He didn't respond. It was chilly outside, and I stood shivering for half an hour, but he didn't show. I called, but no answer. Do you know why Vincent hasn't dated all these years? Because there's someone he's always liked. Peter was back, leaning against the wall, smoking. He was supposed to study abroad during high school, but stayed back because of a girl. She was at university A. He, who never studied, suddenly started working hard and got in. Gloria, do you really think you can replace the girl in his heart? I felt a sharp sting inside. I'd heard rumors about Vincent before. Back then, I didn't care much, but now it hurts. I can clearly feel that I'm jealous. It has nothing to do with you. I tried to walk away, but Peter grabbed me. Gloria, Vincent isn't someone you can handle. Don't act in spite, and end up hurting yourself. You can't take that hit. Do it before you develop feelings for him. Who says I don't have feelings for him? He's my boyfriend, and I like him a lot. You like him? Peter was shocked after being stunned. You're lying. I'm not lying. You know I don't lie. I don't believe you. Peter stared at me for a long time, searching for evidence of a lie. After a while, he let go of my hand, looking defeated. Do you really like him that much? Maybe it was when he told me that beauty isn't on the outside, but in the heart. Maybe it was when he showed up at the bus station to take me back home. Maybe it was when he earnestly helped me clean my old house, stayed with me and Grandma, shopped with me, and cooked for me in the kitchen. That's enough. Peter cut me off coldly. I just smiled, not really bothered by his reaction. I used to think, how could anyone fall for someone so quickly? But then I realized, if the next person is good enough, anything's possible. I know about that girl. Vincent talked to me about her. I only care about now. The past doesn't matter to me. There's nothing left to say. I walked into the dark night. Within a few steps, someone caught up with me. His eyes were intense and desperate. Since you don't care about the past, we can still work too. It's different. Why? Tell me what's different. Because you're willing to hurt her just because she likes you. It was Vincent. He stood not far away, dressed in a dark long coat, looking so composed. I ran towards him, and he walked over too, wrapping his coat around me. The warmth and smell made me feel so cozy. Sorry, something came up at home at the last minute. Sorry to keep you waiting. Not long. Let's head back to campus. Vincent glanced at Peter standing behind me and then handed me the car keys. Wait for me in the car. I hesitated. You guys aren't gonna fight, right? We won't, I promise. About 10 minutes later, Vincent returned. I glanced back. Peter was still standing there, looking worse than before, like he lost everything. What did you say to him? The car started. Vincent's fingers gripped the steering wheel. I told him the girl I liked in high school was you. I was taken aback, but quickly caught on, feeling a whirlwind of emotions. You lied to him. I didn't lie. Then you. Gloria. Why couldn't the girl I liked in high school be you? I stared at him in disbelief. I've liked you for so long. You've always had your eyes on someone else, never noticing me. Back then, I had some family issues and foolishly rebelled by not studying. My family thought I wouldn't get into a university here, so they planned to send me abroad. I didn't really mind, until you saw an university brochure on my desk and asked if I was taking the exam too. I vaguely remember. Vincent didn't respond then, just looked at me with calm eyes. I tried to ease the awkwardness, talking to myself, what a coincidence. I'm applying there too, so we can continue being schoolmates. I thought, why not give it a shot? Getting in wouldn't be bad. I was speechless. Back in high school, I was so shy and invisible. There were lots of pretty girls in class. Some even altered their uniforms or wore makeup. I never joined in on that. I thought I was plain and unnoticeable. Just another face in the crowd. Little did I know, someone was secretly into me all along. Why would anyone like me? You seemed so self-conscious, blending into the background, but your grades were amazing. Sensitive yet resilient, fragile but strong. I can't really put into words how I feel. Maybe it's touched, or something else. My heart feels so full. You're pretty great too. You made it into a university, in just one senior year. Vincent chuckled softly. You really think I'm a miracle worker? Catching up on 3 years worth of effort in one. I was putting on a show for the family, but I studied when it counted. Good thing I got in. The car stopped at some point. Come on, let's talk. Talk about what? You were pretty chatty with Peter. Why are you at a loss for words now? Realizing what he was referring to, I blushed furiously. Not talking. Vincent cupped the back of my head, leaning in for a kiss. One kiss after another. I was overwhelmed. I like you. I really do, I confessed. Vincent froze for a moment, his gaze dark. Gloria, don't play with me. I felt tears welling up. I'm not. Don't look at me like that. He kissed me again. Rain started tapping gently against the car, drowning out all sound inside. The temperature in the car rose steadily. Dim light from the street streamed in, highlighting Vincent's face. His eyes were intense, his breath hot. Too hot. I was blushing like crazy, not daring to look at him. My hands fluttered nervously. I don't know how much time passed. The rain got heavier, each drop tapping insistently against the window. The storm passed, leaving a gentle drizzle behind. Vincent turned on the air conditioning, the cool air spreading throughout the car. Your face is so red, Vincent said, grabbing some tissues to wipe my hands. I tried to cover his mouth but hesitated, feeling embarrassed. Stop talking. All right. My throat's a bit sore, anyway. After graduation, I gradually paid back all the money George had supported me with over the years. After making the final payment, I got a call from an unknown number. There was silence on the line for a long time. Just when I was about to hang up, they spoke. Gloria, is there really no chance for us? It was Peter, whom I hadn't talked to in ages. He sounded drunk, his words all jumbled and illogical. Why did I realize so late? If I'd accepted your confession back on the yacht, would things have been different? You weren't ugly. You were never my obedient pet. I've never thought you smelled. In fact, I was attracted to you, but I couldn't accept it. How could I fall for someone as ordinary as you? I cared too much about what others thought. Such an arrogant Peter, ending up with a girl marked with a birthmark. I was the coward, the timid one. I was wrong. I've never forgotten you. Could you give me a chance? Gloria. The bathroom door opened, Vincent's voice coming through. I've got the water ready, wanna join me? The phone call abruptly ended with a click. The next time I saw Peter was after I had the birthmark removed from my face and had fully healed. Vincent was attending a business event. He had a few drinks, so I went to pick him up. When I walked in, I ran into Peter and his friends. Peter seemed not to recognize me. He looked at me with a kind of stunned admiration. After graduation, he took over the family company, but apparently wasn't managing it well. It kept losing money. Over the years, I've stayed in touch with George. He was pretty disappointed with Peter. After the company started losing money, Peter lost focus and spent all his time partying with friends. Like he was bent on wasting away the family fortune. One of his friends recognized me. Gloria, you've gotten even prettier over the years. Gloria, she's not just pretty. Over these years, she started her own business, doing spectacularly well. She's a powerhouse and quite famous. I shrugged, modestly, just a small operation. It was true. It wasn't a big company. Thanks largely to Vincent's support and resources, even though I handled much of the work myself, his help made a real difference. I didn't have the silver spoon advantages they had. I knew if I wanted a future with Vincent, I had to be someone who could stand by his side. So, I did my best to improve and excel. Gloria, it's been ages. Wanna hang later? Let Peter set it up. No thanks. Vincent's had some drinks. I'm here to pick him up. Everyone turned to Peter, their expressions a mix of things unsaid. After a while, one of them asked, "Are you and Vincent getting married soon?" Waiting on him to propose. "Send me an invite when you do." "Hey, Peter, let's hit the restroom. You guys catch up," his friend casually suggested. Peter looked at me. "Long time no see. You've changed, gotten prettier." "Thanks. Is he treating you well?" Peter asked, then laughed at himself. "Judging by you, he must treat you very well. We're really happy. Sometimes it feels like college was just yesterday, and other times, it feels like forever ago. Gloria, I haven't dated anyone since. Feels like, after losing you, I can't love anyone else." Ridiculous, right? But that's how I feel. I have so much to say, but I don't want to burden you. "Well, if you know it's a burden, then don't say it," I cut in. Paused a beat, added, "It's kinda annoying. Besides, I don't even remember." Peter looked stunned, disbelief etched on his face. The old Gloria was gentle, hesitant, never one to call someone out so bluntly. Now, Gloria is confident, bold. I like who I am now. Sorry, I gotta go. Honestly, I didn't have the time or energy to listen to his rambling. Just then, Vincent appeared. He glanced at me, then at Peter, his expression turning cold, persistent. "Isn't he?" I chuckled. "Vincent, you're jealous again. What are you calling me?" I blinked playfully. "Why? Can't I call you what others do?" Vincent's eyes deepened. He leaned down for a kiss. "You can, but I prefer you call me that in bed." With people around, his voice was low but someone might overhear. I quickly clapped my hand over his mouth, glaring playfully. "Mind your manners." Vincent looped an arm around my waist, kissing my own girlfriends, not bothering anyone. "Fine, nothing wrong there. Let's head home first." I gently nudged him into the backseat. "Gloria, tell me you like me." "Like you. Look at me more. Don't look at Peter. He's nothing special. I'm only looking at you. And don't talk to Peter." "Okay, next time I see him, I'll go the other way." "Not allowed." I giggled, kissed him lightly. "Vincent, stop with the drunk antics." Vincent studied me for a moment, then suddenly pulled me onto his lap. "Then comfort me tonight." "All right, for a lifetime."